Any hesitation from Hogan about dropping the belt?
Not that I ever knew, no. Hulk was from my side and what I know and what I was involved with at that time, there was never any hesitation from Hulk at all. It was all, let's go get this guy over. I'm going to do everything I can and let him run with the ball for a little while, see how he does.
Well,
I think in the back of Hulk's mind, it was probably like, okay, give him the ball. Let's see what he does. And I think that ego on his side probably is that he could do better.
So well, you're supposed to feel that way in the wrestling business. Yeah. So, on the DVD that you say you didn't watch, that we have to address at some point, the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior that WWE put out, and there were lawsuits and blah, blah, blah. Hogan said something along the lines of, and I'm paraphrasing because it has been a while since I've seen it, he knew that this was not the guy to drop the belt to. And you're saying you don't believe that was the case, or he didn't express that to you then. Do you think that's Hulk just trying to make that narrative work for the DVD? Or do you think...
I don't know that there was necessarily... You got to understand, you say the narrative for the DVD. The DVD kind of came out of trying to do a DVD on Warrior, wanted Warrior's involvement in it, and wanted him to participate and be a part of it, and he didn't do it. As interviews and as feedback was coming in, and they were doing all of these interviews with people, they're looking at it going, wow, there's not a lot of positive stuff to work off of.
Well, hang on now.
But it was now. I know what you're going to say, and it was never, hey, let's go out and bury the Ultimate Warrior. It was, let's go do this video. But you know what? Is they're getting all of these bites and interviewing people. There was so much negativity, if you will, that it became that. And it went in that direction.
And so there was eventually coaching on what to say.
No.
Or not necessarily what to say, but, I mean, here's the thing.
I don't know. Look, I can tell you.
You produced some of those segments,
no, I didn't.
Did you not?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I was interviewed for it, and no one coached me on what to say. I was asked. We were interviewed.
But you'd never done an interview before where you sit down and you just shit on someone.
Sure I had. It may not have aired, yeah, without a doubt. They shoot that stuff for hours sometimes, asking guys questions, and they pick and choose what they want to air.
In my head, if I was told we're doing a disc on the Ultimate Warrior, I would tend to think we're trying to put him over.
They were trying to put him over.
Golly, it's difficult talking to you.
No, but you got to understand, the original concept was to do a disc on Ultimate Warrior and then have him participate in it. Yeah. But then when you sit down and you get 20 different people and they're asked questions and you listen to it and 90% of it is, really he was a jerk, and really he was this, really he was that. And, well, I never thought that would work. There becomes a tone to it. And when the producers and everybody looks at it and they go, hey, this is what we've gotten here, at some point along the line, and I didn't have any input one way or the other on that, so I can't tell you that, by God, let's go bury the Ultimate Warrior at that point. It was just feedback from producers and people that were putting the DVD together that came back and said, hey, this is what we got. We don't have a whole lot here to go, woohoo, Ultimate Warrior, what a great guy. And so it became, well, maybe that was a construction of his, and let's go another route. And
it became a hit job, and Photoshop posters and all kinds of other stuff to make him look embarrassing.
What Photoshop posters?
I'll show you later. Anyway, let's move on. We're talking about when you were trying to be positive for a minute, which is, I know, difficult for you in your old age. Talk to me about the night of the match, what the expectations for the match were, all that jazz. Supposedly, Warrior tells in his DVD that the production people wanted him to ride the cart to the ring. He was not having that. Of course, he ran to the ring.
That's not true.
Okay.
That's not true. The only two people who were walking to the ring that night were Hogan and Warrior.
Okay.
That was 6 in Toronto, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I did the run sheet, so, I mean...
Okay.
That was early on. I don't remember. I could never remember anybody saying, I want Warrior to ride the cart. That may be his story he wants to tell or wanted to tell. But
what about the match itself? Who put the match together? Who would
Pat Patterson.
Pat has a story where he goes to find him afterwards. Do you know that story?
I don't.
Supposedly, they couldn't find Warrior right after the match. They needed to do, I don't know, photos or something. And he had hidden himself in a little closet somewhere and was overcome with emotion that he had won the belt and didn't want anybody to see that. And I found that interesting because everybody seems to think that he was not a wrestling fan, but for him to be really that moved to be in that spot, it lends itself to another side of him, I think.
Okay.
All right. What'd you think of the match?
I thought the match was great.
Is that one of the better matches you've seen Hulk or Warrior have?
Yes. Yes, I thought it was very well put together. I thought that they executed it well. And it told a great story.
Did Hogan have a favorite referee to work with back in the day?
Probably Earl Hebner and Dave Hebner.
Yeah. Okay. That's who was in this one too.
Yeah.
What do you attribute that match quality to? Because it is a little bit of an anomaly. Those guys would work later in WCW, and it was, I think the wrestling term is the drizzling shits. How do you separate that? What made that one different? What made that one better?
Pat Patterson in preparation. The fact that all three of those guys were able to get together ahead of time and prepare for it and calm everybody down and lay it out ahead of time. Not per se step by step, but be able to discuss the psychology of things and tell the story throughout. And I thought that the story was told beautifully.
Yeah, I don't disagree. It's one of my favorite WrestleManias as a little kid. It was phenomenal. And one of the things that made it so great were the promos leading up to it. What type of notes would be given to Warrior on a promo? You know, back in the day, we often hear that there was bullet points, but when you watch his promos, it doesn't even feel like there are bullet points. Is it just turn the camera on and let's go?
Absolutely none.
So
we're 4 weeks out, we're 3 weeks out, we're 2 weeks out. It's this Sunday.
And so you give him a set amount of time, or you just let him go that too?
It depends. If he was doing it it depends on what the environment was and what that specific promo was for. But I need 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes, and
Was that the standard? Would you say 2 minutes?
No.
What was a standard length for a promo?
There was no standard length. I mean, for interview segments, you had exact times, but for promos like that, it depended. It depended upon where it was in the show, what it was about, and how much time you needed.
So when you were producing those, how many takes would Warrior normally do before you were happy and he was happy?
1.
He was 1 take with it?
A lot of times, yeah.
Okay.
Because nobody understood what the hell he was saying anyways.
Golly, man. Difficult.
Now, right. Why am I difficult? No, they were intriguing. They were intriguing promos that fit his character. It was different.
Did you correlate his Warrior gimmick to being an Indian at all?
What?
Well, a lot of people say that the Ultimate Warrior was essentially an Indian gimmick because of the fringe, because of the face paint.
Never.
Because of the way he would talk about to the heavens, and he would look above and talk to his hands. And
that's the first time I heard that one. But
well, the first person I heard say it was an old interview where Chief Jay Strongbow referred to him as the Indian.
Okay.
And it was disparaging in the way he said it. He said it a little more colorful than that.
Yeah, because Joe Scarpa, the Italian man who played the Indian on TV, knows. Yeah, okay, so go ahead.
No, that's it.
Okay.
I
never heard that.
I just never really thought about that, and I wasn't sure if there was any sort of.
There may have been, but I never heard that.
Never dawned on you.
I never looked at it that way.
All right, so let's talk about it now. We're done with WrestleMania 6. We've touched on it in a previous podcast. Hogan takes the Warrior the belt, even after the ref tries to. Hogan corrects that, takes him the belt, rides off in the cart. Big moment, big fireworks display. He's the man now. You guys go back to programming him with Rude, from what I remember, and they work at SummerSlam that year in 1990. Is that, am I remembering that correct?
Yeah, that's right.